Well, Buddy is already asleep, and I don't want him to get behind in the book that we're reading, so we will read a story from the Bible storybook that we are kind of in right now as well. And this is about the call of Jeremiah. Among those who wept at the death of King Josiah was Jeremiah, the son of Hilkiah. Perhaps the same Hilkiah who found the book of the law in the temple treasure box. That would have been years back. Jeremiah and Josiah must have been about the same age, for it was when Josiah was 21 that Jeremiah was called by God to be a prophet. So these two young men grew up together with the same hopes and ideas. They worked together in trying to clean out idol worship and bring the people back to God. No wonder Jeremiah cried when his good friend died. As a boy, Jeremiah never dreamed he would be a prophet when he grew up, nor did he ever want to be. He loved the Lord and hoped to serve him as a faithful priest like his father. But to be a prophet like Elijah, Elisha, or Isaiah? Oh no, he didn't aspire to anything like that. But God had his eye on this boy. He saw that he was faithful in his duties, that he was a boy he could trust. And one day, God spoke to him. Such a surprise that was. For God said to him, "Before I formed thee, I knew thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations." This was like saying, I was thinking of you and planning for you before you were born. Jeremiah found this hard to believe. He begged to be excused, just like Moses when God called him at the burning bush. "Ah, Lord God," he said, "behold, I cannot speak, for I am a child." But the Lord would not let him off. Instead, he put his hand on Jeremiah's mouth and said, "Behold, I have put my words in thy mouth." This was an even more wonderful experience than Isaiah's when he was called. For while his lips were touched by a live coal from off the altar, Jeremiah's lips were touched by the finger of God. Then God said to this rather bashful young man, "See, I have this day set thee over the nations and over the kingdoms, to root out and to pull down and to destroy and to throw down, to build and to plant." Jeremiah didn't feel like pulling down or destroying anything. He preferred a more peaceful life. Anyway, he didn't like talking to people. Crowds frightened him. God understood. Patiently he said, "Be not afraid of their faces. There is no need to fear. Behold," said the Lord, "I have made thee this day a defenced city, and an iron pillar, and brazen walls against the whole land, against the kings of Judah, against the princes thereof, against the priests thereof, and against the people of the land. And they shall fight against thee, but they shall not prevail against thee, for I am with thee, saith the Lord, to deliver thee." Wonderful promise. Surely God could not have offered to do more for this young man whom he wanted in his service. He would take away all his fear, all his feelings of weakness, and make his sagging backbone like an iron pillar. He would make him like a city with brazen walls, which no enemy could break down. And through the darkest days, God would be with him to deliver him. Oh, goodness gracious. Jeremiah accepted his call and became one of the greatest prophets of all time. Perhaps someday God will call you into his service. If so, remember his promises to Jeremiah. Let his fingers touch your lips. Let his words be your words. And don't be scared of people. Be not afraid of their faces. For God will be with you always to deliver you. Have a good night, everyone. We'll pray as we do. God gives you confidence, boldness, so many other things. I pray for the three amigos here, and for you all as well. And hope you have a good night. Love you all. Get to church tomorrow. If for those of you who are, it's not already tomorrow, because I know some of you listening, it is, you would have already been to church if you went to the early service. Anyway, I don't know the time frame of the late service there, but anyway, have a good night. Love you all.